So we are in the garden this evening weeding around the pumpkin plants. And I just wanted to show you guys some of the first little baby pumpkins that are starting to grow. They're super cute and tiny, and hopefully some special critters we find. And we are behind on weeding and everything, as is usual. But just wanted to show you a couple things about how we grow pumpkins and why, and ways we take care of them. So first and most importantly, we have our garden help. There's Dusty hiding back there. And a firefly, aw, showing off for us. Dusty sees it. See if it'll blink for us. Yep, aw. Love fireflies. And then we have our little extra side patch over here. The other field of pumpkins is over there. We are just working on getting some of these tall weeds. This was an area where the vines got ahead of us a little bit and we couldn't till in between. We usually rototill in between until the vines get big enough that we can't go through anymore. So you can see some of these later varieties that I've put in still have quite a bit of space between them, and yeah, they're all looking pretty good. Of course, right here on the edge, again, this is our first year using this plastic in between some of our rows, mostly in the corn and the veggie garden. And I'll show you the reason why we don't use plastic in the pumpkin patch, though some people do, but I think that it's maybe not the best for them, and I'll show you why. One thing we do have in here is monarchs. We've got some milkweed in the garden that we don't pull. We've got acres of milkweed, but it's always fun when you actually run across a little monarch caterpillar. I took a picture last night, so I'll have to add it in the video, of our little tiny baby monarch caterpillar. I can't find him back on this set of weeds here, milkweeds, but I do see the evidence. We've got a whole munched through a leaf and some caterpillar poo, and he's around here somewhere. We've been seeing lots of monarchs flying around, and I'm super excited about that. But also we've got some gorgeous pumpkin plants coming, and I'll show you, if I can find one here, reason why we don't use plastic under the pumpkins or any sort of mulch really. I am pulling these weeds and laying them under some of the vines, but not where we have a little node, because the pumpkins do, let's see, where's the beginning of this guy? Way over here. We grow in mounds, so we'll put, depending on the germination rate of the different varieties, we will put several seeds in each mound. So we plant by hand, we'll space them out, put anywhere between 2 and 6 seeds in one hill. We'll just put them there, mound up some soil around them. That helps with drainage. It also helps with water retention. This ends up being a moat. Over time, it goes away. But then your plants are concentrated in one area. Your vines, I mark them all with flags so that as we're going throughout the season, if the weeds get ahead of us, or even when we're tilling or pulling weeds, it's easy to find where home base is, where our roots are anchored, where each plant begins, because these vines, of course, do get very long. I don't remember what variety this is, but you can see this vine's already gone way over here, and we're not super far into the season. But one reason that we don't use mulch under here is that these nodes start growing their own little roots, and that helps not only anchor the vine, especially as it gets this big, it anchors it in the wind, and the rain helps it keep from toppling over. But also, if something happens to the main root over there, the rest of the vine and the fruit is still getting the nutrients and the water that it needs. Here's a blossom ending here. We also have some little cuties. These pretty little curlies. I love these so much. These were hanging onto some weeds that I pulled, so it's got to find something else to anchor on. But We've got this teeny tiny little fruit here. It's a beautiful little pumpkin. Super excited about that. It's always fun when you finally start seeing some fruit growing after all the work you put in. Many hundreds of hours in these patches already this year. And every year, it's just always gratifying to see the little pumpkins start growing. Here's another little cute one. These are all different varieties in here. You can see there's a difference in the coloring on the plants as well. We've got this pretty little guy here. Such a cutie. Finger for scale. Don't mind my dirty fingernails. Always garden without gloves on for the most part. And of course, these are always so cute. And they're stretchy. I don't know if you've ever played with these, but I quite like them. And we've got a beautiful sky tonight. Just missed sunset. It's about 9:30 p.m. Still daylight out, so we're just out tackling what we can. It was really hot again today, up near 90 with super high humidity, so we just are getting done what we can tonight. We went to a fundraiser dinner for a friend after work, and then came back home to get back to it. As you guys can see, we've got some Japanese beetle activity here. Gotta go pick for those. But the corn's looking good. This is broom corn over here. I had a hard time weeding through this because broom corn looks a little bit different than sweet corn or field corn or your ornamentals, most of your ornamentals. So a lot of these grasses that I'm now using to mulch the open soil around the base of each plant looks a lot like the broom corn itself, so it's been really tricky when I'm sitting on the ground grabbing weeds trying to get those taken care of. But that's what we're up to. And this side next, I think we can still run a rototiller through a lot of these areas over here. And the other patch is almost completely closed in, so we're doing all of that by hand at this point. Everybody's getting so big. I'm super excited. We had such a weird spring, such a slow start to the season. You can see our sunflowers over on the edge of this patch are pretty stunted yet. We had a lot of rain and cold weather, and pumpkins like hot and rainy, and they weren't doing so great for a minute. So we're excited that it did heat up, even though we don't enjoy it we don't really enjoy it that much, being, you know, in the 90s and 90% humidity, but the pumpkins like it a lot, and the corn likes it. As you can see, this field corn here is doing really great. Just a little bit shaded here by this mulberry tree, but it looks really awesome. It's definitely taller than me. I'm not super tall, but the corn is looking awesome. We've got some of our marigolds still doing great between, and these are hopefully I got the right variety. French marigolds do the best at keeping the creatures away in the garden, and they do seem to work. My mom always did that, and we got to the point where we were making entire mazes and obstacle courses out of marigolds, and it was just gorgeous, especially when they get really big at the end of the season. And we just love having them in the garden. They're just a beautiful pop of color and help keep the bugs away, in theory. I've always thought it worked pretty well. We put them around our tomatoes and just about everything, so we really enjoy these. But anyway, just doing some more weeding. It's pretty much that's what we do around here. And again, I'm using some of these tall grasses. None of these have gone to seed yet, which is great. We're not too far behind yet. So none of these have gone to seed, so I can use them as mulch in the garden, so I can cover some of this bare soil. And then as the pumpkins grow and the vines grow and start to put out more roots at each node, they should still be able to put a root through this matting. But it does keep the light out for the weeds, so they can't come up from below as easily. It does actually work pretty well. And since we're so late in this season here, and these weeds have been so tall and kept everything else from growing, it should be a minute before more start to try to come up, and then they're met with quite a thick mat of living mulch. And again, as I've mentioned previously, we'll keep these root ends on the plastic mulch as much as possible so that they don't reach the soil and start growing again. These types of grasses will very quickly come back to life if any of their roots are touching soil or something they can start growing in. So we try to pile them so that the root ends are not touching anything that can help them out and they can dry up in the sun. And that's about it. That's what's going on this evening. Of course, we've got more fireflies doing their thing. I can see a bunch of them. I don't know if you can see them on camera here. Oh, there was one. Love having these guys around. Birds singing. Just a beautiful, peaceful evening in the garden. And that's it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Getting dark out, but I just wanted to share my little friend Marvin came to help me. He doesn't come and help me in the garden very much. Hi, Marv. But he just wanted to come and see what was going on. We're still out here. It's getting kind of late. It's just about 10 o'clock, so we're going to head in soon. But I want to say hi to my little buddy Marvin. What do you see, Marvin? You're so pretty. Thanks for your help, buddy. What do you think? Say goodnight to the people. Hi, Marv.